Good morning, everyone. This is Karen Jean Lowe with Simpatico, and we teach emotional intelligence. Today's little tidbit, since we're approaching Valentine's Day, our hearts are kind of turned to, of course, the grandest experience in this life, falling in love. But often it's difficult to maintain that wonderful rapture that we have at the start of a relationship because things are going on behind the scenes that we might not have been alerted to. Especially, I don't know about you, but I haven't been taught many hours at all on emotional intelligence when I went to school. So I thought it'd be a good time to pick maybe a problem that we've all witnessed, or maybe we do. And I never want anyone to feel badly for being human. We do what we have to do to get our needs met. And unfortunately, emotional manipulation is big on the list. Now, there's many kinds of emotional manipulation, but the one I want to talk about today is called gaslighting. And it simply is a maneuver by a manipulator to convince you you're crazy. Or maybe you're not quite remembering it correctly. Or you ask for a raise at work and they say, your work's not really been up to par right now, and you're dismissed. These are many techniques to avoid directly dealing with your heartfelt requests or just your desire to be understood and to understand. Now, this is the most important thing in all relationships, is, of course, to be able to communicate, to be empathetic enough to understand what the person is saying and what you want to be validated in the conversation. So I wanted everyone to just be aware of emotional manipulation. I've caught myself doing it. It's just a technique rather than being direct that we use to convince others to get what we want. And when someone is not communicating with using the facts and logic in any kind of reasoning or communication with you, you're not communicating. So what you want to do with anyone that gets manipulative, usually narcissistic personalities are great for this, what you want to do with them is pull them back to the subject continually. If they start to get excited, they might try to insult you. And, you're going to have to diffuse. And diffuse means step back away from it, give it a few deep breaths, think about, let's get back on task. We're talking about facts and logic and reasoning here. We're not going to drag manipulative emotions into it. You're not going to make me feel less than. You're not going to distract me with something else that's irrelevant. We're going to remain on task for the sake of a goodwill communication. When you do come up in front of that toxic person, you'll start to recognize emotional manipulation much more readily. And gaslighting is not well known by many, but do a little research on it. Find out the ins and outs of gaslighting. See what it's used for. See if it's being used against you, because I can promise you there are several people in our relationships, and maybe someone very dear to us, that is gaslighting, but doesn't deliberately know what they're doing or know that they're doing it on a deliberate level. So just another idea on how to be emotionally intelligent. Using your diffusion skills is what we're talking about today. When someone is gaslighting you, trying to distract you or make you think you're crazy, you're not on task, or it didn't happen, let's get them back to talking about the facts. And that way we can step back from what they're saying. We can diffuse from not owning what they're telling us. Remain within ourselves, our facts, our logic, and that should take precedence in the relationship. So thanks for joining us today, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Here at Simpatico, we wish you the best.